Live from OLMA, everybody. It's BFA Sports live coverage of high school basketball tonight in Newfield. The 0-2 Lady Villagers taking on the undefeated Bridgeton Bulldogs here on BFA. And good evening, everybody, to you all. Welcome to the stage. I'm Chris Lozzi along with Steve Westcott. Great to be back with you. Looking at this matchup, the Lady Villagers start the season at Absegami. Tough game. Then they gave Middle all they could handle on Monday night. They look across from them. They've got an undefeated team, Bridgeton, who's come in here never undefeated, seems like, in a long time. How undefeated are they? We'll see tonight if that really makes sense.
You're 100% correct, Barter. Bridgeton comes in with a record of 3-0 with wins over Cape May Tech, St. Joe at Hamilton, and Cumberland Regional. In those three contests, they've had three different leading scorers. So they can get scores and points from scorers in all different directions and positions. They come in here tonight 3-0 and looking to make a statement if they can. However, Our Lady Mercy Academy did play well the other night. They gave the Lady Panthers of Middle Township all they wanted. I think they'll be ready in here tonight. I think they'll be looking to get their first win and look mighty impressive in here.
First year coach Brian Coyle at the helm tonight. What are your impressions in the first two games thus far?
Yeah, you should always have good impressions with Coach Brian Coyle. Brian Coyle knows what he's doing. He's a really good head coach. He was when he was at Absegami. He's one of the best trainers in South Jersey. He's one of the best head coaches in South Jersey. And his girls will always be ready to play. And they're looking to get that signature win this year. And it may come this year, he says, but they're looking to get their first one on the docket tonight.
That's our setup tonight. It's the undefeated Bulldogs of Bridgeton and OLMA. And for the starting lineups in the national anthem, we go to our PA announcer, Bob Burkholz.
Good evening and welcome to Corona Gymnasium on the campus of Our Lady Mercy Academy here in Newfield, New Jersey for Cape Atlantic and the interdivision action between the visiting Bridgeton Bulldogs and your OLMA Villagers. Today's contest is being conducted according to the rules of the New Jersey State High School Athletic Association. These rules provide fair competition among players. Spectators can promote good sportsmanship by observing rules of fair play. Everyone is requested to take personal responsibility for keeping this game at a high level of good sportsmanship. Ladies, gentlemen, coaches, players, and officials, we kindly ask you to rise. Gentlemen, remove your caps as we honor our flag, our country, our servicewomen and men everywhere with the playing of our national anthem. And now let's meet tonight's starting lineups first for the Bulldogs of Bridgeton. A sophomore, number 15, Alina White. A junior, number 30, Jacob Bowman. A junior, number 4, Diana McGriff. A senior, number 1, Clarasia Acevedo. And a senior, number 5, Jemiah Mosley. The Bulldogs are led by head coach Tom Zoyak, assisted by Barry Wills.
Starting lineups tonight, as you heard from Mr. Bob Burkholtz. It's McGriff, Mosley, Wilkes, Acevedo, and Bowman for the Bridgeton side with 3 wins against, as you would say, not such quality opponents. Cape May Tech is in there. St. Joe Hamilton is in there. Against an OLMA team, which is going to start Coyle, Bernhardt, Sacco, Prescott, and Dragone. And why do we have the Empire Strikes Back theme for the officials?
Yeah, that's interesting.
Who are Andre Grant and Larry Blake tonight, the board 34 of officials as we get ready to start tonight here on BFA. Great to be with you here as 24 hours removed from the sunshine.
Yeah, home from a little vacay, partner.
Yeah, it was great.
Awesome. But as you said, Our Lady Mercy Academy comes in here with 3 quality juniors and led by 2 seniors and Drew Coyle. Just a great player, does everything, nothing on the floor that Drew Coyle can't do. Does everything on the floor. You're going to see Our Lady Mercy Academy pick up the defensive intensity tonight, pick up the defensive pressure, turn defense into offense, see if they can get out and transition and score.
Kind of like the fact now that Andre Grant walked over and says, "You ready to go?" Yeah, let's get going. Second home game of the year for the Lady Villagers. We're glad that you can join us tonight on BFA as game number 3 for the Villagers, and Dragone wins the opening tap. And off we go tonight from Newfield. And you mentioned familiar faces. I think we said it off camera, but there's one of them in Dragone, and she had it knocked away. And coming back the other way is Wilkes. Lost it in the corner. Sacco, now a junior. I keep forgetting we had a broadcast last week, on Monday, and Dragone missed that one, but a nice follow by Prescott, and she's fouled on the floor. And I know you guys talked about a lot of returning faces, and that really helps a first-year coach.
It really does, and these kids have played together for a couple years now, and their experience, and let's face it, their talent as well. They're a talented group of individuals as Our Lady Mercy Academy, and if they can get those 5 individuals or 7 individuals with a couple players that come off the bench, the play is won. They're going to be really good.
From the inbound from Coyle, that was a miss by Maddie Bernhardt, her first shot tonight.
Bridgeton Lady Bulldogs opening up at a little bit of a 2-3 zone format. At the other end, Our Lady Mercy Academy playing straight man.
Wilkes stolen at the half-court line. Prescott can't convert, but a follow is no good. But we got a free throws coming, and that is for Maddie Bernhardt.
We talked about defensive pressure, defensive intensity. Savannah Prescott right there showing it right at half court. Able to strip the ball handler. Unable to finish at the other end in transition, but a great job by Madeline Bernhardt following the play, following it up, and drawing the foul to go to the line for 2.
I don't think there's any doubt that Tom Zoyak, the head coach of Bridgeton, knows that this is his first real test of the season. And already he's facing that. He's committed 2 turnovers in 48 seconds.
Yeah, and Our Lady Mercy Academy will D you up. They bring defensive and pressure and defensive intensity that even really good teams struggle with on occasion.
0 for 2 from the line, and they get a break on the call on the out of bounds as it went off of Jayla Bowman, junior, and so OLMA will keep it. And Coyle is triggering the inbound so far. That's Prescott off with that 3. Floorboard for Dragone. And they still continue to fire it up. Coyle can't connect. On the floor, and Bridgeton gets their first stop.
Yeah, sometimes against a zone, a 2-3 zone, you just need to see the ball go in. OLMA, Our Lady Mercy Academy right now probably 0 for 4, 0 for 5 from the field, and 0 for 2 from the foul line. They just need the ball to go in to gain some confidence, so when that ball rotation on the perimeter happens, they can start knocking down jump shots.
Wilkes fouled by Prescott. It's the first OLMA team foul.
Again, straight man by Our Lady Mercy Academy.
Remember, we had that system that OLMA inputted, for lack of better words. We'll talk about that in a second, as Wilkes.
Is that already 2 years ago now?
That is 2 years ago. Yep.
Time flies when we're having fun, right?
Installed, is that a better word? Bad pass. Coyle's ahead of everybody. We might get points tonight. We will.
Yeah, we talked about defensive pressure, coming up with steals and turning it into offensive transition. Perfect example of it right now. Right there, Drew Coyle gathers the turnover, able to get all the way to the other end and finish with the right hand for 2.
3 turnovers already for the Bulldogs. Look at Prescott still bothering Wilkes out top.
Wilkes comes up from a wonderful athletic family.
It's Diana McGriff. I believe her mother is the assistant coach. Could that be another turnover? It is.
Mary Wilkes is on the bench for
Yep.
Bridgeton as an assistant coach, but what a wonderful and great athlete was Cindy Wilkes.
Oh, yeah.
Back in the day, in I want to say early 2000s, maybe early 2000s, Cindy Wilkes was one of the best athletes that South Jersey has seen.
Prescott misses the three. Dragone underneath, and she earns a trip to the line. And if I'm not mistaken, Cindy was an AD, right?
And she still may be for
She's
the
still-
girls. She still may be the girls' athletic director.
Fouls on Bridgeton's number 4, Diana Bricker. That's her first. Team third.
It's vital to us. We did a football game at the new stadium against Hamilton. Wound up going to 3 overtimes. That was one for the ages. Angie Dragone, we've talked about her in each of our 3 years broadcasting OLMA basketball and how much she's getting better and better using those summers and AAU. As this night progresses, I'm going to ask you what you think her maturation process is, as we now have a 3-0 lead. Full court from the Villagers.
Not surprising they're picking up in what was a 1-2-2 format.
Wilkes tried a no-look pass, but it went off of Angie Dragone's foot and out of bounds. Bridgeton will retain possession. So the rest of the starting 5 who haven't touched the ball yet. Clenarja Acevedo is number 1, but Wilkes has the ball most of the time out top. Mosley and Wilkes in the corner. And look at how OLMA's in their face defensively.
That's for sure. I mean, almost is playing great defense at the defensive end. However, Bridgeton's still able to stay in their set on that trip.
It was Bernhardt dishing. Left-hand runner from Prescott misses. Rebound to the Lady Bulldogs. 3 minutes gone. 3-0 OLMA. Wilkes down the middle to get Bridgeton on the board. Can't do it. Dragone has 4 boards already.
Yeah, dominating the boards on both on the defensive and offensive end.
And Sacco off that miss. Coyle. Bernhardt set her up. If she gets hot, and there she goes.
Yeah, she can knock down threes with the best of them. Can Madeline Bernhardt. She had a couple of them the other night against Middle Township. Knocks one down right there after Drew Coyle collects the floorboard and kicks out to her for the perimeter J.
And Tom Zoyak immediately calls a 30-second timeout at the 4:32 mark, and they have yet to score. Have the Bulldogs at 6-0 OLMA early on. Chris Losey, Steve Westcott, BFA Sports Crew here tonight. Tonight's game brought to you by Game Changer. I know you've got it on your phone, right?
Absolutely. Game Changer. Download the Game Changer app, who's now doing basketball stats. You may have known them from the baseball statistical career.
I have.
Now.
But they you know what? I've asked them repeatedly to please not include keeping track of bad calls. Game Changer's the official stat machine of BFA Sports.
Or what they may consider as one of our mistakes either. Don't track those
right.
either, Tom.
No.
But we'd like to thank
Leave.
Game Changer for joining a
But
partnership
that's
with
why.
us. And
Listen, when you make that transition up here, that's why it's a good thing. You can get away with that.
I
Did you hear what
guess.
Chris said? Oh, that was dumb. Did you see the call Chris made? Not so dumb. Off the 30-second timeout, and more full court from the Villagers. And Zoyak's going to have to find a way to get out of it. So he decides to send Wilkes, and she now gets into the front court. Good penetration. But now Bowman just rakes all over, and the raking and no foul, they're just going to say out of bounds.
Yeah,
And it looked like that. I mean,
initially I thought he was going to call a jump ball, and if that's the case, the arrow would belong to the Lady Bulldogs of Bridgeton. However, he just called an out-of-bounds call, and he's going to give the possession to the Villagers.
I don't know if he called a jump ball.
And, you know, it's funny, we say Cindy Wilkes, she's on the sideline right now, is in attendance here tonight.
Is she?
She's wondering, right at the baseline, just on the other side of half court
Oh,
from
I
us.
see her.
And
I see
she's
her.
wondering what the call was, too, because the arrow would be the Bulldogs of Bridgeton.
It is going to be a held ball, and good job getting together.
Yeah, you want to get it right?
Yeah.
And they got together, they talked
Well, they looked
about
at the arrow because the OLMA was on the light on the arrow. Good job getting it right.
Yep.
Off the inbound, Acevedo's first touch, and that's Diana McGriff.
Good take.
All the way to the basket.
It's a really good take. She comes from the right hand, top of the key, extended, and then gets all the way with the left hand. Did it a dribble, little floater off the glass, and good for McGriff.
Here's some double team action. Bernhardt got right through it, And then on the loose ball, she commits a foul.
Yeah, she tried to kick out to the perimeter. She came from the right baseline, tried to kick out to the left wing. Ball was tipped and then recovered by Bridgeton, and unfortunately for Bernhardt, she ran through her trying to hustle down the loose ball.
Second team foul for OLMA. Under 4 to go, first quarter, 6-2, OLMA in front here on BFA.
That OLMA press is now 1-2-1-1.
That's off Prescott. That should belong to Bridgeton, and it will. No, they're going to give it to OLMA.
No, I think they're saying Prescott hit it off of number 5's hip, Mosley.
Ooh. Okay. I am turning over a new leaf, by the way. Yes, I am.
That's awesome.
Yes, I am. Dragone in the paint, spinning. Not there with that, and a rebound to Wilkes.
Good little right-hand baby hook by Dragone right there. Just unfortunately couldn't get it to go.
Diana McGriff tried to get it into Wilkes. Too much there. Double team. Prescott on the steal, and they kicked it out.
Yeah, she was 1 against 2, decided to kick back out to Coyle.
And it was a traveling call before. Brian Coyle flies off the bench after that call, but
yeah, it's a shame because they had Dragone all alone on the block, but unfortunately before the pass was made by Prescott, she shuffled those feet. Thus the travel.
Ariana Feedy off the bench. First substitution tonight for Sophie Sacco. 6-2 our score. Wilkes with the left hand. Short. Good defense by Prescott. Good rebound by Dragone. In transition, here comes Bernhardt. Pulls up. No good. Acevedo, floorboard. Wilkes in the open floor. On Bernhardt. Kicks it out. Mosley missed it bad. And back the other way. Feedy feeds Coyle, but it was too far for her. But a nice recovery, and Coyle's short jumper's no good.
What a pace we have in this one. Back and forth action.
Down to 2:20 to go in the first quarter clock. Mosley again. She has Bridgeton's points. There's a kick out, and a high arcing shot is off the mark from Imara James into the game. We missed that substitution, 24, and now Prescott will go back to the line with that penetration.
I'll tell you what, both teams getting up and down the floor right here. The only thing really unfortunately happened for both teams is the shooting percentage. The ball's just not going in for either team at this point. Prescott
Installed.
will go.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Prescott will go to the line here to shoot too, however.
That's the word I was looking for. Installed that system, and you still see some components of it as we turn into our golf voices.
Yeah, the 1-2-1-1 zone press will resemble it. You know, when they implemented that system 2 years ago, it was everything was 2 people to the ball at all time, and whoever was covering the ball handler, they were sending a second one to them, and they would rotate behind and see if they can come up with a steal that way. The 1-2-1-1 full court press will resemble it. Isn't that to a T, but does resemble it.
Off the miss, another opportunity. Bernhardt's open. Another one.
Yeah, she can. We talked about it. She's just such a good shooter. She's one of the top 70 players or juniors in the state of New Jersey. And you know, you give her the 3-point field goal, and she starts knocking them down. She's going to have a huge night in here tonight. She's
2 for 3 from distance and gets in the way of that pass, but ran out of real estate. So the ball will stay with Bridgeton, who trail now 10-2. A minute 43 on the clock in the first.
Madeline Bernhardt just plays and hustles everywhere, all over the floor. Defensive end, when it comes to rebounding on the glass at both ends. Of course, we talked about her scoring capabilities. Just a really, really nice player. It's Madeline Bernhardt.
Another year of maturity, too.
Absolutely.
Here's Dragone getting in the way of that pass, but regained by Bridgeton. We're down to 90 seconds. That one was looking for James. Out of bounds, and guess who got a hand on it?
Yep. We talked about it. She's everywhere. Her and Drew Coyle. Exactly the same thing. Madeline Bernhardt may be a little bit better of a scorer than Coyle is, but Coyle's leadership on the floor and all of this hustle and defensive intensity and pressure started and led by her example, Drew Coyles.
There's James right in front of the OLMA bench. Hands to Wilkes, down to a minute 15 to go. Nice ball movement there to the middle and fouled. And I think It's on Prescott.
I'll tell you what, as much intensity and defensive pressure as Our Lady Mercy Academy's throwing at them, Wilkes is doing a nice job with the ball handling, able to get Bridgeton into their sets. They have had some of the turnovers, there's no doubt about that, but Wilkes is doing a really nice job against that defensive pressure.
2 first-quarter fouls for Savannah Prescott, and Brian Quayle goes back to the bench and brings Sophie Sacco back in. Inbound underneath. Tried to feed, and that happens all the time. Jemiah Mosley was the inbounder from the out-of-bounds line and didn't come in yet.
Yep, ball gets tipped back towards the inbounder on the defensive pressure by OLMA, and before she steps in, she gathers it prior to getting her feet set. Thus the turnover.
OLMA with a minute 12 and an 8-point lead. First quarter.
Bridgeton pressing a little press of their own.
And that's Wilkes stepping in, but again, the double team, and I think they figured it out.
Yeah, Bridgeton surprised the Our Lady Mercy Academy right there with a little full-court pressure of their own.
And on the OLMA defensive side, it looks like they're employing a double team every time Wilkes touches the basketball. Like right there. There's James taking on Dragone. Angie keeps her out. 52 seconds left and a reset.
Coyle has Wilkes out up the top.
That was Ayanna Ridgway. James, the runner's no good. Here comes Maddie Bernhardt in the open. Wild shot. James has a board with 30 seconds left, and we'll look at the Bridgeton bench, and we'll see if he wants to hold for one. And he being Tom Zoyak, and I think Tom says yes.
I agree.
Wilkes.
Try to get a bucket here before the end of the quarter, make it 10-4 and survive the quarter.
Oh, nice pick and roll there.
They're good basketball.
And it winds up being a basket for Bridgeton.
Good call by you, partner. Pick and roll
Bowman.
basketball right there at its best.
6 seconds to go for Bernhardt. Baseline around Bowman, and she scores with 3 seconds to go.
It's a really good move. Used the head and ball fake while continuing the dribble, was able to get to the baseline and knock down an 8-footer.
1 quarter complete in Newfield, almost up 12-4 here on BFA. Getting into the Christmas spirit, are we?
Absolutely. Listen, they're not going to push it back.
No.
So
Tonight's game brought to you by Tri-City Kitchens and Elevations. Raise your expectations and the wonderful generosity of Tri-City Kitchens, and I know you have something to say about that.
yeah, Mr. Keith Bernhardt and his staff over at Tri-City Kitchens and Elevations, you just don't get any more quality work. The cabinetry they put together, the designs they put together is just so top-notch. And he's been very generous to the Our Lady of Mercy Academy program and has been a great friend of ours here at BFA Sports. And we'd like to thank Tri-City Kitchens and Elevations and Mr. Keith Bernhardt.
And if Keith's good about it, we'll probably 12-4 as we start the second here tonight. Chris Losey, Steve Westcott, BFA Sports crew all here with Christmas carols going. No, that's not Christmas carols. That's Christmas songs. I was told this on my vacation. The Christmas carol is when you knock on the door and you say, "Hark the herald angels sing," and all that. That's not a Christmas carol.
So let me get this straight. You went to Mexico with your lovely bride. And the topic of conversations was Christmas carols versus songs?
No, only when we were on the beach with the beach cocktails. That is a steal, and Bridgeton comes away with it.
Must have been after several of the cocktails. Which, if you were in Mexico, why not? I don't blame you.
Modesty prevents me from elaborating any further. That's Ridgway. Nice look underneath. It wasn't a whistle, that was a sneaker. And now we've got a held ball, a tie-up, and a good job by Sophie Sacco. Locking up Ridgway, and the arrow will go to the Lady Bulldogs. First minute of play in the second quarter. 12-4 our score. OLMA looking for their first win of the season, and they're going up against an undefeated Bridgeton squad.
Who hung in there, Bridgeton did. I mean, they turned it over 4 or 5 times, 5 or 6 times early in that first quarter, but then they kind of settled down and kind of felt their way back into the basketball game. And with the defensive intensity and pressure that Our Lady Mercy Academy is putting on, that's not easy to do.
However,
OLMA still does have the 12-4 lead.
But I think Bridgeton's also matching their defensive intensity. They've got 2 turnovers on the last trip. Ridgeway underneath, looking for Acevedo, looking for a call. There is none, and it's out of bounds. And that's just a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, inside, but however, good defensive play by Sophie Saka was able to tip the ball away off the Bridgeton defender when they gathered it. They were on the baseline, and here's Our Lady Mercy Academy with a possession.
And full court from the Bulldogs. Look at Ridgeway going back and forth. They get it through to Coyle. Dragon underneath, and right away double teamed immediately, and that changes the shot, and Dragon is still off the score sheet.
Yeah, I mean, when she catches it that deep, she's usually awfully tough to stop. And unfortunately, they're just a missed puppy, I should say, from Dragon because she couldn't get any deeper into the paint in better post position.
And there's the double team, and there's a nice screen right from the top from Acevedo. Sent Coyle back a little bit. And there's James. He's got the height advantage on Prescott. After backing her in, lost the ball, and Dragon comes away with it.
I'll tell you what, give Savannah Prescott give her some props right there because she was undersized in that matchup in the post right there, and she hung in there, kept her verticality, and was able to create a steal for the Villagers.
Sacco ran into a detour, and off the loose ball, Ridgeway's open, takes a little jumper, missed it. Prescott a rebound and a foul, and this is from Ayanna Ridgeway.
Yeah, Savannah Prescott able to gather the rebound, turns and looks to go up the floor to get Our Lady Mercy Academy out in transition. She's fouled while doing so.
5 team fouls for the Bulldogs, and Sacco will inbound.
Tell you what, partner, if I'm Our Lady Mercy Academy right here, I'm going to go right back inside the Dragon again. Just because she didn't score the last trip or have a really good first quarter doesn't mean you still stop going to her. I'd go right to Dragon again if I could.
There's another double team and a foul, and I think that's on Bernhardt.
Yeah, that's her second, too.
And 4 team fouls, and how about the defense from Tom Zoyak? 5 of the last 7 trips have been turnovers for OLMA.
Yeah, she's given some of that defensive pressure and intensity right back at Our Lady Mercy Academy. OLMA still man, however, they're switching on the perimeter. That time when on dribble handoff, Bernhardt and Coyle switched players.
It's a backcourt violation called that time by Andre Grant.
Rather than Our Lady Mercy Academy going under the screens and staying with the player they're covering, they're just switching on each one.
And then already it had a benefit of a turnover at half court. Prescott, there's Dragon. They've got to get her involved, like you said, and they just did.
I'll tell you what a good move, though. That's a good point guard move right there. Dribble, drive, create the help, defensive help to you, and when so, dump it, block the block. Dragon knows what to do with it when she catches it on the block, that's for sure.
Double team here with a double-digit lead. Air ball from Acevedo. And the ball apparently was deflected by OLMA, and it'll stay with Bridgeton.
And that shows a little bit of the maturity of Prescott right there as well. In the past, she might have tried to throw that up over the help defender, right, and maybe it come off, and then Dragon would have to work for the offensive rebound and put back on the other side. But that time it was a good find by Prescott in order to get it to Dragon for the bucket.
There's McGriff, and that's a foul on Dragon, as she had the grab on number 24. And Mara James, I was just, for a minute there, I took my eyes off the score sheet and looked who was yelling.
Coach Coyle, and every once in a while, Dragon and even Bernhardt on occasion have a little bit of where they're over-aggressive, right? And they pick up a foul that they may not need to pick up. Like that time right there, if Angie Dragon doesn't reach, which is what Coach Coyle was upset with, and she just stays and stands vertical with that size that she has.
Just like that.
Just like she just did right there. That's a perfect example. If she doesn't pick up that foul and Our Lady Mercy Academy doesn't get themselves in foul trouble.
Well, they are now, each team with 5 personals. There's a turnover. Drew Coyle leaks out ahead. She's got 2 more.
Good job by her coming to a 2-foot jump stop and finishing strong with the right hand so that she could absorb the contact in case there was any. Good finish by Drew Coyle.
Off the deflection, it is fielded in the corner. That's Mosley. That's a 3, and it misses everything. How about the screen out that time by Feedy?
Yeah, really good box out. She looked for the offensive player to come on the weak side, saw her coming, then boxed her out, and that's what enabled the ball to go out of bounds. And it goes down as a floorboard. However,
I did not know that.
it would go down as a – well, no, it doesn't go down as a floorboard. It would be just a possession.
It's all right. Sacco got a lucky break there as it came right to her. Off the block. How about Prescott with speed? Missed that. And Mosley's got a board for Bridgeton, who trail by 12.
Prescott's been able in the second quarter especially to get by her defenders with the dribble drive.
Wilkes with the penetration.
And as I say, get by their defender with a dribble drive, Wilkes says, I can do it too, and finishes with a good move on the right side.
Coyle in the paint, kicks it out. And Prescott misses the 3. Floorboard for Acevedo.
It was a good look for Prescott. She just couldn't knock it down. She was wide open, top of the key, extended from three-point range. Just couldn't get it to go.
Acevedo with a runner. And Bridgeton's really awful from the field tonight.
Yeah, unfortunately, shooting percentages on either side are not great tonight.
Well, Sacco had that one contested by Wilkes. But a lot of uncontested misses. And then Prescott's able to go all the way through. That shot not there, deflected out of bounds. And now they, are they going to keep it to OLMA? I think they are.
Yeah, everybody's staying down at that end rather than retreating to the end that we're at. And that would lead you to indicate to you that it would be our OLMA possession.
Yep. With 3:25 to go, and still OLMA maintaining that double-digit lead at 16-6. 5 team fouls each way. Dragone backing in. Bowman not giving up anything.
Good job by Bowman.
That's a 3 from Bernhardt that's short, but believe it or not, Mosley was not able to keep Bernhardt away from it, but a turnover, and here's Bridgeton. McGriff. Wilkes is open just inside the 3-point line, and she nails it.
Yeah, and she can knock it down. Wilkes is a player. She knows how to score. She was one of the leading scorers in one of the first 3 games for the Lady Bulldogs of Bridgeton.
Prescott with eyes.
Yeah, another really good point guard move, breaking the pressure, finding the offensive player, her teammate right on the block, and I believe it was
Riley Gimberling. We'll get that one. Riley, good job.
Yep.
Wide open, but Prescott found you.
Yep, and finished for 2.
McGriff backing in. Acevedo hits the deck. Ball on the floor, and the whistle, and I think they got the jump ball. They do. And this one should go to OLMA.
Good defensive intensity right there. Again, Dragone stayed nice and tall, nice and vertical. Offensive player for Lady Bulldogs didn't have a move and lost it while she was attempting to make one. Thus the tie-up.
10-point lead. Feedy double teamed. Prescott, tough shot, no good. Feedy rebound, blocked. Prescott again, hit the side of the backboard. Another chance. There's Gemberling, and she's on the board again.
Good job. What a good couple minutes right here so far. Coming off the bench and making an impact for the Villagers is Gemberling. Second bucket on 2 trips.
She's a junior. She's got 4. Bernhardt gambled and missed it. Acevedo backing in Dragone. Nice defense by Angie. And a 1 and done with 1:45 to go. 12-point lead for OLMA. They've got possession. Bernhardt missed everything. Ball on the floor, tied up. We got a jump ball between Acevedo and Prescott. And the arrow will stay with the Bulldogs.
I'll tell you what, the 2 forwards for Our Lady Mercy Academy and Dragone and the young lady that came off the bench, Aldrich, I believe it's Allison Aldrich, the other night in the Middle Township game, they're both seniors. So for Gimberling right now, in order to be playing as well as she is, as a junior, that's a good sign for the Villagers.
12-point lead.
When it comes to taking care of your physical wellness, maintaining good health of your bones and muscles, you want a team of doctors you can trust and who hold themselves to the highest standards. At Premier Orthopedic Associates, we believe that you should live life at your best. Our team of non-operative and operative orthopedic specialists strive for the highest standards, exceptional outcomes, and happiest patients. Come and experience the Premier difference.
Welcome you back to OLMA, BFA Sports. We're live here tonight for high school basketball, our 3rd season. Tonight's game brought to you by Premier Orthopedic Associates with 8 locations in South Jersey. Go from discovery to recovery, just like that.
Yeah, I'll tell you what the care you get there is no better. Dr. Dwyer and his team actually helped me out about a month or so ago when I had a little hip issue, and went over there, and they took great care of me, and I was not surprised at all. Dr. Dwyer and his staff do a wonderful job.
Visit them at poasnj.com. Premier Orthopedics, a proud sponsor of high school sports. We thank them, and of course, Dr. Dwyer and his very talented staff. McAlpin, also Dr. McAlpin. Bridgeton possession, 90 seconds to go until halftime, and a 12-point lead. That is McGriff, got Bridgeton on the board. Feedy disrupts that on the end line, and what do we got?
He raised his hand.
And
so it's not a foul, or else it would have been a fist.
I'm turning a new leaf.
He's going to keep the ball with the possession of the Lady Bulldogs. Okay. Saying that the Our Lady Mercy Academy player had possession of it while she was on the sideline.
Okay.
How's that?
Well, he said a lot without talking.
All right, well, then I'm saying.
Okay, that's Bowman. Minute 5 to go. Wilkes. Acevedo backing in. No good. Feedy lost it, and it could have been a three-pointer and an easy one, but McGriff will go to the line. Feedy had it, lost control with a minute to go. Bulldogs with a chance to cut it to 10.
That was a shame for Fetty. Let's watch our game changer replay right there. You can see as the ball comes off the rim, it hits the rubber that goes underneath the basket to support the basket. And when that happened, it deflected to the Bridgeton player rather than the Fetty. And all she could do was foul her. Another one of our game changer replays right there. We've got to love those.
Oh, yeah. Especially, and look who returned for another season. Manny and Mo, our 2 backboard cameras.
Oh, yeah, they're here.
1 out of 2 for McGriff, 11-point lead. Dragone with the clear. Prescott up the floor with pace. Prescott to the basket, and she'll go to the line. And even though it's a shooting foul, it's also Bridgeton's 7th foul. Look at the speed here.
Yeah, Savannah Prescott's taking the ball up the floor, and she's wondering why nobody's stopping the basketball. So when nobody stops the basketball, she kind of says, you know what, I'm going to take this all the way to the rim if I could. She couldn't finish, but she did draw the foul, as you said. She's got 2 at the free throw line coming.
Not on the board yet. I tried. She's got another.
I'll tell you what, she's not on the board because she was very unselfish on a couple moves to the basket where she could have probably scored, but found Dragone one time, and I believe, what was it, Bernhardt on the baseline?
Gamberling. That was
right.
Nice.
Correct.
She comes up empty on that trip. The lead is still 11. We have 45 seconds to go, and that is Wilkes and Coyle all over her.
This time, Our Lady Mercy Academy doesn't switch in their man-to-man defense on their perimeter. They go under the screener and stay with their own.
Thought they were going to get a 5 there, but good ball movement that time, but Mosley missed it. And that's a puppy, you like to call it.
Yep.
And maybe the last possession for the Villagers with 25 seconds to go.
And again, a junior forward, Gimberling, with the rebound, and a good one at that.
Prescott got it right back to her, went right down the middle, and didn't make the layup, but got a foul, and she'll go to the line with 16.9 to go.
Yeah, for Savannah Prescott right now, unfortunately, there's just a lid on the basket right here, because that's one that she would normally make, I would say, 9 out of 10 times, but it just couldn't get it to go. She did draw the contact, though, and she'll shoot 2.
Younger sister of Sydney, of course, was our first year of OLMA basketball. How's she doing? Any update on Sydney?
She was here the other night. She took part in a halftime shooting show on the court with the public address announcer. They were giving some OLMA gear away, and they were trying to throw snowballs in the rim or in the hoop.
God, that's like having Doug Stasek. His arm is so terrible.
Yeah, I'm going to leave that one alone.
Why?
However, I'll tell you what, you talk about quality individual, the younger Prescott girl.
Yeah.
Just a super, super kid.
1 out of 2 at the line. 12 seconds to go. 8 seconds to go. Wilkes switching hands but couldn't get it. She'll get another chance with 3 seconds. Missed that. 1 second. James, no.
Wow.
3 tries for the Bulldogs. They come up empty. at the end of the first half here tonight. Exciting basketball here on BFA. I'll bet you didn't think it, but it's 21-9. OLMA is our halftime score here tonight on BFA.
When it comes to taking care of your physical wellness, maintaining good health of your bones and muscles, you want a team of doctors you can trust and who hold themselves to the highest standards. At Premier Orthopedic Associates, we believe that you should live life at your best. Our team of non-operative and operative orthopedic specialists strive for the highest standards, exceptional outcomes, and happiest patients. Come and experience the Premier difference.
We live in a community that cares. We make sure everyone eats, everyone plays, everyone stays warm, and everyone is protected. We support our youth in organizations that teach the value of community and self-worth. We make strides against breast cancer every day. Together, in this community, we make a difference. RK Chevrolet, RK Kia, and RK Subaru, proudly serving our community since 1982.
We can just go now.
Getting ready to start the third quarter tonight. It is OLMA in front 21-9, and you've got the scoring leaders of the first half, Steve Westcott.
Well, you can download the Game Changer app in order to get your leading scores, but your leading scores so far in the first half were for Our Lady Mercy Academy was Madeline Bernhardt with 8, and for Bridgeton with 5 was Adelina Wilkes.
And speaking of those 8 from Maddie Bernhardt, 2 for 4 from long distance.
Yeah, she can knock down the 3, and that's where she gets a lot of points, but she could also use the dribble drive. She did knock down 2 threes and had a deuce to go along with it.
What'd she say?
That was, well, you said what'd she say? That
Cindy Wilkes just walked by.
We said that she was in attendance tonight. It was great to get together and talk to her for 2 minutes at halftime right there. And the young lady, Adelina Wilkes, is her niece. Her sister's Mary Wilkes, as we said earlier, the assistant coach on Bridgeton's bench.
So I got that one right.
Yep.
I got a couple right tonight.
Yep.
We start the third. Bridgeton in possession. They go back to the starting 5 for them. That is Adelina Wilkes getting a return feed from Mosley and out of bounds off the True Coil. Bridgeton keeps it.
But once again, go to your Game Changer app, download the app, and you can check all the statistics, not just your point scores, but your rebound leaders, assist leaders, and everything that goes along with it, thanks to Game Changer.
And how do they download that app? They go right to the App Store.
You got it.
Or visit them at gc.com if you have the internet there. Right, here's Coyle for 3 from the corner. No good. Bernhardt mugged underneath.
Yeah, she got herself good offensive rebounding position. I'll tell you what, I thought Coyle's jump shot was going to go. She called it in rhythm. She had her feet set. Madeline Bernhardt on the weak side able to get good position to rebound and drew the foul. OLMA possession.
Another non-shooting foul. How about Bowman with some physicality? Forced her going out of her comfort spot. He's talking to Angie's mom at halftime, and look at Sophie Sacco. Gets a steal, and then the pass is off of Coyle's foot. But as I was talking to her, I said, so what's going on? What's this, what's the landscape? She's got 3 offers already. Look at here, these schools. Catholic, Messiah, Stevenson. Not too bad.
Catholic U, Messiah, Stevenson. I heard Georgian Court
and
offered her as well. And DeSales.
Yep.
DeSales was another one I heard. So I think she's got 5.
Uh-oh. Larry Blake with the assist there, and he's an official. And it winds up to Prescott.
Really good 2-on-1 transition basketball. Sophie Sacco comes up with the loose ball, able to draw the defender to her in the 2-on-1, and when the defender comes, bounce passes this Prescott for the bucket.
Ooh, we got an overrule and a ball deflected, so it's going to stay with Bridgeton. Meanwhile, James comes back into the game for Bridgeton, and it's for McGriff. Inbound on the floor, Wilkes has got it and kicks it to Acevedo. James with a penetration, pulls up and drops it.
Yeah, good jump shot. Took a dribble, got her feet set underneath her, and was able to raise with a little 16, 17-footer, knocked it down.
And now a Bulldog steal and another foul from Dragone. And those are the ones you talked about that probably don't need.
Yeah, unfortunately, Prescott turns it over, unable to keep her dribble, turns it over, and then, again, Angie Dragone just that time right there, a hair too aggressive. Instead of getting back on defense and retreating back on defense, she's able to, she makes contact and picks up the foul, and if I'm not mistaken, that may be her 3rd.
I think one more, and I would certainly put Ryan Coyle going to the bench. There's a penetration and a foul. It's on the floor. It was Acevedo going into the paint. That's Sacco.
Yeah, this time it's on Sacco. I was waiting to hear because Dragone was in the vicinity again. But this time it's on Sacco. That's her 2nd.
So if we have Dragone for 3, at what point, if you're Brian Coyle, do you get her on the bench?
Well, you're okay right here. But you have to trust her. She's a senior. And right there, she stands vertically and she keeps good defensive position, able to get the block, and that's what I mean. You trust the senior. When she's your leader, she's your captain along with Coyle, you trust what they do, and you hope they play the game the right way, and she did right there by keeping her verticality and made a good defensive play to Dragone.
On the baseline, looked like a clean block from Acevedo from our vantage point, but a foul was called, and now Acevedo has to go to the bench because she got popped in the nose. So the sub coming in, it is Ridgeway.
Game changer replay, good dribble drive along the baseline. Player stepped into the shooter, therefore the body contact occurred, and that's why Prescott's at the line.
One more coming for Savannah Prescott.
Tell you what, both her, Coyle, Dragone, and Bernhardt were all taking little 4- and 5-foot shots as they came back out on the floor from halftime, just so they could get that shooting problem solved.
There's Dragone at work.
Yeah, great job. And that's her right there. She's so tough in there. And she kept her verticality. She didn't go over the back of the defensive player, and that's why she was able to get the rebound and put back without picking up a foul.
Saw two ADs of royalty. That was really great to see the two of them together up along the stage.
Royalty?
And yeah, absolutely. Matt Langlador, why not? He elevated, didn't he?
Okay.
Just to be in Cindy Wilkes' company.
Cindy Wilkes is, I said, just a class act.
Yeah.
You don't get too much better than Cindy Wilkes, that's for sure.
Out of bounds, it'll belong to Bridgeton. James turning. No good. Left it on the floor. Prescott with a rebound and a run out, and too far for Sophie Sacco.
Yeah.
And Sophie's got to go get the ball because we're not getting off the seats.
Yeah, that's
Hi, Sophie.
She's like, you could have gave me a little help, you know.
No chance.
It's like on the golf course, we don't get out of the cart either.
Nope.
Just drop one here.
It's like sitting on a plane. You're this way, you're not moving.
You got to have fun up here.
And she did, too. I love that. See, I love that. 5:20 to go. It's a 15-point lead for the Villagers. And now's a good time for Bridgeton to try to cut into that with this possession. Not have an empty trip, right?
It was 12 at halftime. It's 15 now. Almost, as Bridgeton wants to cut into them, almost looking to try to stretch it. They get a steal, and here they come.
And there's an empty trip. We talked about how Bridgeton was getting tenacious on defense, as there's a drive from Bernhardt that's no good. Sacco, and she got raked right across the cheek by Ridgeway on the floor right in front of us. But, you know, and again, we talked about Bridgeton and how they upped their intensity on defense. How about what OLMA's done in the second half?
Yeah, I mean, you're almost halfway through, 3 minutes into this third quarter here, and Bridgeton still only got 11 total points. You know, Our Lady Mercy Academy is doing a nice job on the defensive end. Bridgeton's trying to keep the defensive pressure with them.
There's Wilkes stepping into that pass. Into the open. Bridgeton has not scored yet this half. James backing in. Off the glass, no good. James again. Still no good. They're going to get another chance. It's Wilkes, and right away Coyle's in her face.
They had a 3 or 4 shot possession right at the end of the half and couldn't score. Here's another 3rd or 4th shot possession right here for the Lady Bulldogs.
And that's not a good shot from James, and Prescott now running through, and the contact from Mosley, and she'll go to the line.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, all the Our Lady of Mercy Academy players are not afraid to go to the basket and draw contact. And I don't care if it's Prescott, Coyle, Madeline Bernhardt, Sacco, you pick it, you pick the player. Game changer replay will show it right there. The defender never gets back, and she just makes contact with Prescott, sending her into the stage. And but they all draw contact, and they're all not afraid to accept the physicality of the defender. That's for sure.
One of the things that Savannah does so well is, okay, I mean, obviously you're a ball handler, you're doing what you have to do in the perimeter, but penetrates and gets the opponent in foul trouble. She's at the line 5 times tonight.
Yeah, and she shoots a lot of foul shots per game, that's for sure.
And made them both, and the lead is the largest for the Villagers at 17. It's 28-11. Wilkes, and there's the double team right away. Almost a giveaway, but it was knocked out of bounds. Bernhardt got a hand on it. 4:06 to go.
That time Wilkes helped that Our Lady Mercy Academy actually by dribbling into a corner and a little bit of a dead area on the floor. She helped get herself double teamed.
Because you have the extra defender in the line, right?
In the baseline, yeah. Correct.
Yeah. Wilkes. This is Ridgeway out top. And look at Dragone. Look at Dragone running with it. No, she's going to follow up. No. Bernhardt. No. 0 for 4 that trip, and Bridgeton will get it back with a timeout from OLMA. And it's a full so we'll take it with them. OLMA's got their largest lead tonight.
When it comes to taking care of your physical wellness, maintaining good health of your bones and muscles, you want a team of doctors you can trust and who hold themselves to the highest standards. At Premier Orthopedic Associates, we believe that you should live life at your best. Our team of non-operative and operative orthopedic specialists strive for the highest standards, exceptional outcomes, and happiest patients. Come and experience the Premier difference.
With jingle bells in the background, you got your Christmas presents ready.
It's that time of year. Like I said earlier, they're not going to move the date back.
No.
Like, Steve Westcott's not ready, so let's make Christmas the 20th. I don't have that much drag.
Well, if you're still waiting for that last-minute Christmas present and you want to improve your wheels, there's no place better than Jim G and RK Auto Group, RK Chevrolet, Kia, and Subaru and Vineland.
That'd be a heck of a present there.
I'm telling you, he is. I wonder if he is on standby for another Super Bowl party, which you will never forget as long as you live.
Yeah, we had a good time with him at the Super Bowl party last year. But I'll tell you what,
my God.
it not only is his staff and everything at RK Chevrolet, RK Subaru, et cetera, they take his personality, and it's a great personality, and everybody there is kind when they treat you.
Even the service guys.
Service guys are unbelievable.
Phenomenal.
I mean, what a place, and they take his personality as not only being a nice guy, but a great person.
Now, if he only knew football. RKAutogroup.com. And my phone's going to blow up any minute.
You better be careful. I understand he may know a guy named Sean Brady.
Yeah, oh, no. In the middle, look at this kick out and ball movement, and Bernhardt is crashed into by Wilkes. That's one way to handle an over-aggressive defense.
Yeah.
How about that?
Use ball and head fakes and draw the defenders in order to make the contact.
And with 3:35 to go, Bridgeton is one foul away from putting them on the line. How about Bernhardt?
Yeah, it's crafty, right? Uses the head and ball fake that we just talked about. The defender steps up because you got to respect her perimeter jump shot. And when she draws the defender, able to get through her, find a lane, find a gap, nobody helps. She gets all the way to the rim for two. That's a really good move by Bernhardt.
Acevedo, I don't know how she found Wilkes because she didn't intend that pass for her. But they got an opportunity. Didn't go. Dragone at the other end. No look. Off the glass, too strong. James has got a board. I like her, Steve. I like the way she plays here.
James?
Yeah.
Yeah, she does a really nice job.
Mara James.
Yep. She does a really nice job in the post. Accepts contact. Able to play through it. Hits the glass on both ends.
How about Feedy taking the contact, going to the line. Another turnover. Another transition opportunity for OLMA. If anything, it looks like Bridgeton is getting a little fatigued on offense. They're just throwing the ball cross court.
Yeah, and let's face it, Our Lady Mercy Academy is deeper. Fetty was a young lady who started the other night against Middle Township. Tonight she came off the bench, but she created her own path to the basket that time by playing great defense, stealing the basketball and getting all the way to the rim and unable to finish. But here she is at the line.
One more for Rihanna. Got some playing time last year when she was a sophomore. She actually got some playing time when she was a freshman. Remember calling her name in those games a couple of years ago.
She's a nice player.
Yep.
Does a really nice job coming off the bench here for the Villagers.
Really looking forward to seeing how Gemberling performs. Really like what we're seeing out of her, right?
Yeah, I mean, she's had a couple great minutes here tonight. Had a couple rebounds, had 4 points on 2 back-to-back buckets in the first half. Mm-hmm. And again, she's that junior forward that Our Lady Mercy Academy is going to need with all of these really good quality junior guards, and Prescott and Bernhardt and Sacco. And if Gemberling can come and play that forward spot for them in the absence of Dragone, which she'll be a senior and gone next year, they're going to need her for sure.
Bernhardt's open, too strong. Here's Dragone, though, uncontested, and then she hits the deck.
Yeah, we talked about Dragone's progress and the strides and steps that she's made in this game. And, we talked about that, speaking to her mother, and she's got the 5 offers at halftime. And I'll tell you what, no one's worked harder at a game of basketball. And she's, just a quality young lady, as are all of the Villagers. Let's face it, time in and time again, every time you say hello to any of them, they're just great young ladies, and Dragone's one of them. And she'll look to make an impact at the next level, she deserves it because no one's worked harder.
It's interesting because as this broadcast progresses, oops, got another offer. I'm very, very, very impressed. I remember when she was at St. Michael's as a Catholic school.
In grade school.
In grade
You're
school,
right.
yeah. Full court from OLMA with an 18-point lead.
It's actually
I'll make it
20
20 because
now.
they just changed the board, okay?
Yep.
And that's nice job there by James on the hustle.
I was just going to say, I didn't think they put the 2 up, and they didn't.
Yep.
And they changed it, and now it is 20, 31-11, Villagers.
The largest lead, and once again, it should be noteworthy. At almost the 6-minute mark here of the third quarter, meaning 6 minutes played, Bridgeton has yet to score in the half.
Yeah.
And Dragon, and if that's a foul, and let's see if that's going to be on Angie, that would be number 4.
And I'll tell you what, though, they may not have scored here so far in this third quarter, and they may only have 11 for the game. But when you look at where the Lady Bulldogs have come from and to where they are tonight, I mean, there's drastic and much great improvement to this basketball team as there has been in the years past. And Coach Tom Zoyak,
yeah.
right? I mean, compliment him and compliment the athletic department because what they're doing is working. They're teaching these young ladies to play the game the right way, and they play the game hard and they play it well.
And for a spurt there, I mean, they had Alma on the run, and how about James getting her first basket of the night?
Yeah, we talked about how accustomed she's getting to this basketball game, and she's doing a nice job in there at both ends.
Sacco eyes one up, no good. And Prescott. And the foul is on Acevedo, who didn't think she did.
Yeah, she got herself a little too far under the basket and had to retreat in order to try to get the rebound, and when she retreated, she took Prescott to the floor.
We have 1:43 to go, and we have a correction. Angie Dragon has 3 personals. So Brian Coyle is having a discussion with the officials.
Yeah, Coach Coyle's saying that the Bridgeton player touched the ball after their make at the other end, which didn't allow him to get out immediately and get into transition. They wanted to get the ball inbounds and come back in transition right back at Bridgeton after the basket, but they couldn't do so because the Bridgeton player touched the ball. And that's
delay a game.
Yep, it's at least a delay of game warning, and if not,
then yeah.
After the first one, then.
And we don't know if there was even a delay of game issued.
No,
there could have been because he may be wanting that. That's the second one.
Right,
we don't know that.
Right, right, correct, and that's what he's saying.
Prescott missed the front end, and with 1:41, and Bridgeton with a grand total of 2 points here in the third quarter, and they still have 2 off the miss by Mosley. Prescott, nice feed, better to Sacco.
That's just a really good, that's a point guard right there. Knowing where her teammate is on the floor, drew the defender on the 2-on-1 after a good outlet pass, and then found her teammate, bounce past for the layup. Sacco finishes for 2.
Wilkes joined the contact.
Game changer replay right here. Wilkes tries to get to the rim.
By the way, we have Allison Aldrich in the game as well.
Yeah, I'll tell you what,
More size.
Allison Aldrich did a nice job in the game against Middle the other night when Dragon was in foul trouble. She came in and had some rebounds at both ends of the floor, had, I think, 2 buckets for 4 points, a lot like Gimberling did here tonight so far. Aldrich did a nice job the other night in the game against Middle.
Prescott with a seat on the bench. Up by 19 with 1:15 to go. Bernhardt,
good move.
Look at the speed by Maddie. That's a gimme.
Yep. Yeah, but she's just a quality kid, and she's a really, really good player, one of the better juniors in the state of New Jersey. And she knows how to put some numbers up on that score sheet, that's for sure.
That's some good basketball IQ right there. How about this? Sacco keeps in bounds.
That's a great outlet.
Bernhardt the other end, and the roll doesn't go.
I'm not sure how she completed that pass. Sacco was covered and almost in the coach's box of Bridgeton, and she was able to complete a down-the-floor pass and hit Bernhardt in stride. Here's our game-changer replay. Look at that. Crawls court and hits Bernhardt in stride. Wow, what a good outlet pass.
What do we call that, throwing a strike?
Yeah, I'd say.
One more for Bernhardt inside of a minute, and Olma at their largest lead of the night. And the board has 36-14. It's now 37-14, and Bernhardt's in double figures. 13 for her. 50 seconds left.
Villagers doing a much better job at the foul line in this third quarter than they did in the first half, helping them stretch this lead here, which was 12 at halftime, I believe, at 21-9, and now it's
Agreed.
22 or 23.
Off the miss. Villagers in control with 30 seconds to go. You want to take a note. Fiona Carroll into the game for Bridgeton, number 23. Sacco just got the front end of the rim. Bernhardt, though, has an offensive board. Drew Coyle driving, contact, going to the line, and the foul is on Mosley.
Really good move by Drew Coyle right there, able to get by our defender on the perimeter, gets all the way into the, almost to the block area along the baseline, draws the contact, accepts the physicality, and will go to the line for two. But you didn't have to guess who got the offensive rebound, did you, partner?
No.
That would be Miss Bernhardt.
That's basketball IQ and a good nose for the basketball.
Correct. Good nose for the game.
One more for Coyle. Got them both.
Yep. Again, they're stretching this thing. I'd love to know what they're shooting in regards to from the free throw line in this quarter compared to the first half. And, of course, you can go on your Game Changer app in order to find the answer to all of those questions.
Oh, my goodness. How about Amari James with a no-look off the rebound? Couldn't get it to go. And we're through three here tonight in Newfield. It's all OLMA, 39-14. The last quarter's coming up next.
We live in a community that cares. We make sure everyone eats, everyone plays, everyone stays warm, and everyone is protected. We support our youth in organizations that teach the value of community and self-worth. We make strides against breast cancer every day. Together, in this community, we make a difference. RK Chevrolet, RK Kia, and RK Subaru, proudly serving our community since 1982.
That is the logo of the Lady Villagers of OLMA. And remember, the floor was redone and looks fantastic. As we got a quarter to go tonight, Game Changer brings you OLMA basketball tonight on BFA. We're live. Chris Losey, Steve Westcott, the entire crew is here.
Download the Game Changer app, and you can get all your game stats and statistics, from points to assists to rebounds. You name it, it's on Game Changer. That's the logo you see right there at half court in the center of the OLMA logo.
That is all from memory, folks. And that was not a Christmas song.
Or carol.
Or carol. Right. Fourth quarter begins with OLMA in possession.
Not even sure I know anyone named Carol.
I don't either. I don't think so. Brady.
I do know one now that I think about it.
Sophie Sacco to do the inbound. Do we have Camden Friday night?
I think it's Thursday. I think it's tomorrow.
Really?
I think Friday we have, we're here at Our Lady Mercy Academy in the afternoon. It's an afternoon contest.
Okay.
If I'm not mistaken.
Okay. More of the same?
Yep, more of the same. Just dribble drive, able to get by defenders. The defender comes and steps in, helps Our Lady Mercy Academy's drawing contact and living at the foul line in this contest.
Just put her on the line and she'll keep making them. So if you're asking Brian Coyle about this game in particular, what would he say was the reason why it was 21-9 and now it's 41-14?
Well, I think he's going to tell you that, they kept their defensive pressure and intensity up the entire game, and that was good in the first half. However, offensively, they couldn't finish, whether it be finish buckets at the rim, whether it be free throws made, whether it be jump shots made. Their shooting percentage was down, and that's the reason why they couldn't stretch it in the first half. Those things are up right now. When I say those things, I mean the free throw percentage and the shooting percentage, and that's why they're pulling away here in the second half.
I thought the transition game of the Villagers tonight.
Yeah, it's good. And the transition game of the Villagers is always good. When they can come up with steals and rebounds, they like to get out and run, and they like to get to the rim if they can. And when they can't, they kick to those perimeter threes and those perimeter jump shots.
Wilkes misses that. Ball on the floor. McGriff on Bernhardt. No, but she'll go to the line. Looked like it was good. 2 shots coming from McGriff with 7:05 to go. Final quarter tonight on BFA. OLMA looking for their first win tonight. 41-14, they're in front. Bridgeton came into this game undefeated at 3-0. Oh, Cumberland Christian was the other one for Bridgeton, right?
Cumberland Regional.
Cumberland Regional.
Yep, Cape May Tech, Cumberland Regional, and St. Joseph Academy.
Okay.
Were their 3 wins prior to tonight. And speaking of wins, listen, he's had plenty, and he's had several when he was the head coach at Absegami. But if this continues as this, which we expect it to, Coach Brian Cool will have his first win at the helm of the OLMA Villagers tonight. So we'll make sure we congratulate him before we exit this gymnasium tonight if this stays as is.
That might have been a moving screen, but nevertheless.
And I think you're right. The
Mosley.
moving screen ended up putting Drew Coyle on the floor, which freed the path to the Lady Bulldog to get all the way to the rim. However, she still didn't score, and not only did she not score, OLMA ends up with the ball.
Dragon with a finish that didn't go.
Yeah, she
Another
probably
board.
liked to have
Look
one.
at that. Sacco is everywhere. McGriff all by herself, and that's an NBA continuation right there.
Yeah, and we talked about
Score
how
it.
Our Lady of Mercy Academy uses a head and ball fake. Here's her game changer replay. Watch right there. Head and ball fake by Dragon. Defender steps in to try to help Dragon, which is late. Commits the foul. Count the bucket. This is what they called a traditional three-point play here. If she can make the free throw.
West Catholic at Camden, Friday, 12/23. That's a 6 o'clock start, my friend.
Okay, so it is Friday. I apologize.
Well, hold on a minute. Triton, OLMA. You are correct, my friend.
Friday afternoon, correct?
Friday afternoon.
Yes, sir.
We'll get all that and go from there. There's Bernhardt, and she was stood up.
Yeah, she dribbled herself into a
defense.
double team.
Acevedo, on the other end of the double team, took the ball away. Well, that's a problem when you pick up the ball in the corner. But Wilkes dribbled right off her foot, and OLMA gets another turnover.
Yeah, and you talked about the fatigue, right? In the third quarter, you could see a little bit of the fatigue where the Lady Bulldogs were wearing down a little bit. You see that right here now in the fourth as well. You know, OLMA's gone 9 deep in this contest so far when you talk about Gimberling and Aldridge and Fetty coming off the bench for them. And there's just not a lot of bench minutes in regards to the Lady Bulldogs. So
there's a 3 from Bernhardt.
yeah, she's your leading scorer here in this contest, and she was the other night as well against Middle. She can knock down the 3 with the best of them. Another example of it right there.
Off the deflection. It was McGriff battling in the corner. And looks like Bridgeton's going to keep the ball. That's Bernhardt again.
Good defensive pressure and intensity by OLMA.
Off the inbound, nobody there but white shirts. Prescott, easiest 2 she'll have all night.
Yeah, again, the wear and tear on the Lady Bulldogs, you can see right now. You know, Prescott's laying that ball in, and the first 2 defenders are still not even at the top of the key yet. Our Lady Mercy Academy's pressure has worn the Lady Bulldogs down here, no doubt about it.
Wilkes switching hands, empty. Dragon has a board, more speed in transition, and Coyle, no foul, but Coyle has 2 more.
Yeah, she has 2 more because she did a great job in using her left hand with the finish. But what an outlet pass, what a great outlet pass. Caught Coyle in stride, and again, the left hand got her a deuce.
So watching the game, and there's Bowman getting on the board. But watching the game and comparing it to Monday night, what are some of the things that OLMA has done differently tonight, other than the obvious on the scoreboard? But what are you seeing that they fixed? In other words, like what did Brian Quill say? We got to do more of this and less of that.
Well, I think they played a little bit with a little bit more confidence tonight. I mean, if there was anything, even though they lost the other night to Middle Township, there's no such thing as a, you know, you want to come out with a win in that contest. However, they gave the Lady Panthers of Middle Township all they wanted and almost knocked them off in here. At a time in the second quarter the other night, they were up 5 and had Middle Township frustrated a little bit. And that was even with Bernhardt missing a lot of the first quarter with 2 fouls because she picked them up a minute and 10 seconds in. But I think the other night they were able to carry that confidence of knowing they can play with a team like Middle Township and knowing that that signature win can come, and it can come this year against teams like that. They took that confidence, brought it in here tonight, and it's working out well for them in here.
Step back 3 from Prescott, too strong. And that's Wilkes in the corner. You know, last year, head coach Tom McNelia did something, changed the schedule, right? He decided to go into a different group. First of all, is that intact for this year as well, as that 3 is short from
Well, the Cape Atlantic League realigned this year.
Mosley.
I think they realign every 2 years, if I'm not mistaken. However, the Cape Atlantic League realigned, and when they did so, they used the last 2 years of records in order to use the 3 divisions as to how to group the Cape Atlantic League teams. So in Our Lady Mercy Academy's division this year, and it's loaded, it is Middle Township who they have to play twice. It is Wildwood Catholic who they have to play twice. They have to play Violent High twice. I believe they have to play Atlantic City twice. They have to play Ocean City twice and Mainland twice. It's a loaded division, and all of those good girls really good girls basketball teams in the Cape Atlantic League are going to be facing off against each other quite a bit, and it's going to be a lot of fun this year in regards to that. So from that standpoint, when Coach, getting back to your Coach McNelia point, yes, he wanted to play a lot of the South Jersey's better teams, Cape Atlantic League's better teams, so that he was tournament ready when the tournament came. There's division.
So how do you do that?
I mean, division took care of that for him this year.
Okay. Prescott's 3, misses everything. Good hustle in the corner by Gemberling, but it goes back to the Bulldogs.
And that was a good job by Tom McNelia. Years ago when I was here, we tried to do the same thing. We would not say no to anybody. We wanted to play the toughest and the best so that, hey, signature wins are hard to come by. If we pick them up along the way, great, but we were ready when it came tournament time.
He might have felt that 16-1, 17-1 might have been skewed a little bit, and he said, let's put that to the test.
Yeah.
And I like him. I like what he did.
Play everybody. That's the way that's my mindset. And it was Coach McNeil's as well. That's why he scheduled his schedule the way he did. And Our Lady Mercy Academy is better for it with the way Coach McNeil did it. More
points for Prescott in the 30-second timeout, I think, to get more of the girls into the game, which is now not in doubt. 32-point lead for OLMA with 2:50 to go. And now they just changed it to a full timeout. So we'll take it with them.
When it comes to taking care of your physical wellness, maintaining good health of your bones and muscles, you want a team of doctors you can trust and who hold themselves to the highest standards. At Premier Orthopedic Associates, we believe that you should live life at your best. Our team of non-operative and operative orthopedic specialists strive for the highest standards, exceptional outcomes, and happiest patients. Come and experience the Premier difference.
2:50 to go here on BFA. Chris Losey, Steve Westcott, the crew here tonight for OLMA basketball. Villagers look like they're on the way to their first win of the season. They'll go to 1-2, and they've got a contest here before we end the season.
Well, not end the season, but before the end of the year and Christmas break for sure. Everybody leaves for Christmas break. Christmas is this weekend, and they got one more contest Friday afternoon. I thought you said Triton, didn't you?
That's why I said, wait a minute. Let's get back to what I said. First of all, I said end of the year, calendar year, of course, not the end of the season.
Okay.
I know I'm not in midseason form, apparently. That is Triton.
I'm going to throw a challenge red flag on it. Have you seen those commercials?
Oh, they're great. Oh, my God, they're great.
If I threw one right now.
No, I said end of the year. You think I said end of the season?
Yes.
Did I say end of the season or end of the year? No, see, they won't say anything.
It's okay.
So, yep, absolutely. Triton OLMA, Friday the 23rd, if I'm not mistaken.
Good left
2 o'clock start. Sacco Sacco and Prescott with some serious penetration tonight.
Yeah, they've had a nice game along with Madeline Bernhardt. I mean, listen, balanced scoring, although probably led by Bernhardt. But balanced scoring.
Feedy.
It's a good take. Yeah, Aldridge a little bit too aggressive on the rebound. Send the Lady Bulldogs down to the other end for a 1-and-1.
We're shooting a 1-and-1 with 2:12 to go and a 33-point game. So we have, all right, so you have Triton Alma on the 23rd at 2 o'clock. West Catholic.
Let me just make one comment here. Kristen Wareham into the game for Our Lady Mercy Academy.
All right. So according to this schedule.
She's wearing number 23 for the Villagers.
Oh, boy, you're with the boss on Friday here. Mm-hmm.
The boss meaning Mr. Stasic?
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that.
You're with the boss. And I'm with the coffee maker at Camden.
There you go. Two good crews, two
West
good games.
Catholic Keelites of West Catholic, Pennsylvania. They are very good. That's going to be a good test.
Get to spend your Friday afternoon and evening with BFA Sports. Watching
Amen.
high school hoops.
And Sophie Sacco driving through. 19 for her. A minute 50 to go. And, folks, your Alma Lady Villagers are going to get on the board with their first win of the season and a chance to go to the Christmas break. You like that better?
There you go. Now we're talking.
Okay. All right. With a 500 record in a Friday matinee contest here on BFA at 2 o'clock with Doug Stasic and Steve Westcott.
Can't wait.
Mm-hmm. Sacco again. Missed the scoop. Minute 20 to go. Mara James just inside the three-point line. Missed that.
One of the Lady Bulldogs that had a really nice night in here tonight is Lamar James.
Absolutely. Kristen Wareham, number 23, is now in. How about the reverse from
That's a really good move right there. Dribble drive along the right baseline, unable to finish on the right side, but gets the reverse to go from the left. Good move by Fetty.
And now Tom Zoyak is going to call timeout just to get some girls into the game.
Wouldn't be surprised if Coach Coyle joins him with that good mission and getting some of his young ladies in as well.
He's got depth this year.
Yeah.
He's got depth this year. And the one thing, and if you take a look at that Alma bench, you'll see Tom McCarville, long time assistant. And we've already talked about him and where he sits and royalty out here.
Now that's royalty.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, Coach Matt at the AD here at Our Lady Mercy Academy is a great man, and he does a great job. And he's wonderful at what he does, both as the athletic department and, if I'm not mistaken, he's a defensive coordinator as well.
Yes.
Am I wrong?
Where is he?
St. Augustine.
St. Augustine, yeah.
Correct. And we know their defenses have been great.
Pretty good.
But Coach McCarville is just legendary and royalty, and there's not enough good terms that you can come up with in regards to him. He's just a great man.
And don't talk to him after the game because he's got at least 85 minutes of stats to do. And it'll take him another 85 to put him in the computer.
I used to get him all the time.
Jump ball.
I'd say after our games were done when he was my assistant here at Our Lady Mercy Academy, I'd say, hey, Tom, maybe we should go get a beverage and something to eat. And he would no sooner say yes, and I'd say, but whoa. I don't have any money. So I would make him go in his pocket, and he used to just couldn't stand me. He's like, what is wrong with you? And he would do it all the time. He would fall for it, but he loved it.
We hit him for it, too.
Oh, he's such a good person.
Let's take a look at what might have been an injury, but it's not. It was off the jump ball.
I'll give you another quick story, Coach McCarville, if you don't mind. My very first high school game here as the head coach of Our Lady Mercy Academy was at Pleasantville. He was my JV coach at the time, and he just told me today, by the way, it was 18 years ago. I think 15 years ago. And he wins the JV game at Pleasantville, and he comes over, and I've been pacing all afternoon. First game, I've been pacing all up and down Pleasantville, and he says, see how easy that is? And I went, thanks, Tom. I appreciate it. Needless to say, we went out and lost by 4, and we won our second game of the year here. But anyway, he said, you see how easy that was? Like, I needed that kind of pressure. Never forget it.
He is a peach. Carol at the line with another one. Yeah, there's a Carol. There you go. 1 out of 2. 58-24. It's good stuff right there.
Yes, sir. Kristen Wareham, dribble, drive.
Go ahead. You're on a roll.
I thought she was going to get to the rim there and score.
Off the glass and count it for Riley Gemberling.
Banks are open. It's after 6 p.m., but not at Carew Hall.
Oh, why not? Why not? Tonight's game was produced by Andrew Jersky, directed by Drew Stasic, who does a much better job than his father, by the way, on the switcher.
He's a good young man.
Yes, he is. He's a good young man, is right. The coordinating producer tonight of BFA Sports is Ryan Schumacher. Charles Hope is our cameraman. We've got Manny and Mo on either of the backboards. The executive producers of BFA Sports are Al Fisher, Doug Stasic, and Brian Murray. 61-24. OLMA gets their first win of the season, and we'll come back and wrap it up here on BFA.
We live in a community that cares. We make sure everyone eats, everyone plays, everyone stays warm, and everyone is protected. We support our youth in organizations that teach the value of community and self-worth. We make strides against breast cancer every day. Together, in this community, we make a difference. RK Chevrolet, RK Kia, and RK Subaru, proudly serving our community since 1982.
Well, this is us, Chris Losey, Steve Westcott, on the winning end of OLMA's first win of the season at 61-24. I think we kind of set it up that Bridgeton came into the game. It was a 3-0 record, but it wasn't really competitive basketball as far as the standards go in the Cape, right?
Yeah, and that's true and accurate to say. However, kudos to them. Give them all the credit in the world. They're doing the right things as far as how they're playing the game. They're doing the right things as far as the talent out on the floor. The head coach does a great job, Mr. Zoyak, and they deserve to be 3 in what is now 1. Unfortunately, They ran into a buzzsaw here in Our Lady Mercy Academy tonight.
At one point, it was a really competitive game, 21-9. Bridgeton had possession of the ball. And what happened next was just a flurry of defensive pressure. It was almost like it was a hurricane, and it came fast, and it really took OLMA into another level.
Yeah, it was relentless, and it was for the entire 32 minutes. And the difference between the second half as to why that lead got stretched in comparison to the first half is in the second half the ball went in for Our Lady Mercy Academy, both from the perimeter with a couple Bernhardt threes, the foul line. They shot a really good free throw percentage. And when the ball starts going in and that lead starts mounting, the pressure continues to build. They just wore the Lady Bulldogs down in here tonight. And give credit to Our Lady Mercy Academy. They're a high-quality basketball team, and I know they're 1-2, but they're not a team that's on the schedule that you're going to have a lot of fun when you play them, because Our Lady Mercy Academy can beat you and will beat you.
And as you heard, they've got a chance to even their record for the season at 2-2 in a Friday matinee right here on BFA Live, 2 o'clock when Triton comes to town. And hopefully another opportunity to see these stars, because they are stars. You got Andrew Dragone, you got Savannah Prescott, and 13. I mean, Maddie Bernhardt had the game of games tonight, and she started 0-3.
Right, and everybody can go on the Game Changer app when you download that and check out all of the official stats for this contest in here tonight. But balanced scoring. Our Lady Mercy Academy had balanced scoring. They were led by Madeline Bernhardt, yes, but the names you said, Dragone, Prescott, Sacco, all played a role in it for sure.
And, of course, don't forget on the defensive side, Drew Coyle tenaciously on defense.
She's their leader.
You know, it's just incredible how you can turn it around from one night to another. And it's not something that you can just hit a switch. Confidence really played a role in this. They were in that Middle Township game, and if you were in that locker room, how many other girls thought they should have won that game?
No, absolutely, and you're 100% right. And good teams take the personality of their leader when their leader's a good one. Drew Coyle certainly is. This team is tough. This team is well coached, and it's because of they follow the lead of Drew Coyle, and they exemplify that as a team and as a unit, and they're a tough team to beat as OLMA.
So we're looking forward to that. We're looking forward to more high school basketball on BFA. So join us tomorrow at Camden. It'll be Camden Catholic against Camden High. It'll be Drew Stasic here, who's going to be on the crew, and his father Doug's going to be on the call with Coffee Jones, and then join this guy, Steve, with Doug here Friday afternoon, and Coffee and I will do the game at Friday night Camden game, West Catholic. a war against
That'll be a
Newman
good one.
every year. It should be a good ball game. So lots of high school basketball ahead, and we hope you stick around and join us all season and all year long here on BFA. So Charles Hope is on camera. We gave everybody else their kudos.
Yep.
Steve, Merry Christmas.
Good
to you.
to be.
Great to see you.
Good to be
guys.
with you.
All right, I'm Chris Losey. Thanks for joining us. It's a great night in OLMA. Villagers win tonight, 61-24. We'll see you Friday.
Take
Bye-bye.
care, all.